Get ready with me while I tell you about mine and my boyfriend Luis's relationship. Let's say I want him to give me affection. Instead of going up to him and hugging him and like squeezing his little tush or whatever and being like all sweet and cute, I will purposely not go up to him, not show him affection, and just kind of like be bitter and angry inside of my own head and be like, oh my God, like, why isn't he touching me? Why isn't he holding me? Why isn't he kissing me? What I've realized by 1, getting closer to God, 2, reading the Bible, is that love, what is that like super famous Bible quote? Love is patient, love is kind. Basically, if I love Luis and I want him to show me affection, I'm not gonna get his love and affection by being a cold biatch. So if I want something, I have to either 1, go get it, like physically do it, or 2, I have to tell him like, hey, I want you to grab my, and I just have to be straightforward. Do I want to be straightforward? No. But when people say relationships are hard, I'm pretty sure that is like what they're referring to. I could be wrong. Luis and I got engaged 2 years ago tomorrow. I think like 6 or 7 months in, I was no longer engaged. And so many people have asked me like why, and I wanted to finally address it. And it's because like at the time I was a very, very broken person. Luis absolutely could not marry that broken version of me. I have to fix and work on things for myself before I can even like let another man in and like make a covenant with God. After some time of being engaged, I just knew that I relied on him for so much of my happiness. I relied on him for so much validation. I relied on him for so much happiness, and putting like that much pressure on one person to do all of that for you, like I didn't know that that wasn't normal. And the only person who can make you happy, feel loved, all of those things, like all of the good things, is 1, God, and 2, yourself. For the longest time, you guys, I'm talking years, I literally thought that I was the one in the relationship that was doing nothing wrong, and that he was the one that like needed to do more or to change or whatever. And after like therapy, talking to Jesus, and just a lot of self-reflecting, I realized that it's not just me, but I have a huge role in this relationship where I wasn't bringing my best self to the table. And if I'm not actively working on bringing my best self to the table, how can I ask my man to do that, right? Right after Luis and I had our baby, we were together like 2 years, and then we had a daughter. I would do this thing, and maybe you guys do this too. I bet you a lot of you guys do this, but I'd like tally our tasks. Like, okay, you changed 2 dirty diapers, now I'm gonna change 2 dirty diapers. And basically like I would hold record of like who did what, because I was so afraid of me doing more and like being taken advantage of. Like that was a genuine fear of mine. And what I've learned is that when you're in a loving, committed relationship, like there's no tallying, right? Unless someone's like narcissistic and like totally taking advantage of you. But when there's 2 people just genuinely trying to do their best, you literally can't tally. Am I embarrassed to share those things with you? No, because the way that I acted, the way that I was, 1, it does not define me. 2, it does not matter what I have done. It matters what I'm doing now to change the situation. I feel like if you truly understand what you're doing wrong and what you could do better, and if you're willing to like work on things, that says so much more about you than like the things you did wrong. Another thing that I used to do wrong all the time is anytime we would get in like really big confrontations, I would be the one that would be like, okay, so then we're just not going to be together. Like we're going to break up. Because I think that that's like my childhood wound of my mom leaving that like bubbled over, because I was so afraid of like him leaving me. I would threaten to leave first, you know what I mean? And after doing that like a million times, Luisa's like, look, none of us is leaving either of us, so like let's just stop saying that and try and get to like the root of the problem, you know? At the end of the day, I just want someone to love me unconditionally. That's either gonna be Jesus or myself.